Greetings, everyone. Well, today I thought we would look at a really cool sci-fi franchise. Oh yeah. Now with this franchise, I kind of got hooked on it by my close friend who I've known for really since kindergarten. So um, I won't mention his name due to privacy reasons. But, dude, if you ever watch this, thanks so much for introducing me to this awesome franchise. We are, of course, talking about, well, I'll let you know after the title screen. Oh, yeah, right here on the Media Files. Welcome back. So, with this franchise, let's just say it's well known for its quotes. I mean, come on. You got makes Cambodia look like Kansas. Payback time. If it bleeds, we can kill it. And of course, probably the most famous line of "Get to the chopper!" Ah! Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about. Predator. Oh yeah. I love this movie. I mean, come on. Here it is. You got 80s macho, just no holds barred, in your face action. And, I mean, it's just, what can I say? It's almost the perfect 80s action film of at least 1987. Oh, yeah. I mean, granted, there you got Schwarzenegger there on the front, little Predator there in the back. But this movie, though, just the interior artwork is just amazing. I mean, you got artwork all over the place. Famous quotes. Comes with 2 discs full of material. You got the first disc has the movie. The second disc, of course, is just loaded. I mean, loaded with extras. I mean, you get a closer look at that. You get Schwarzenegger there, and you got the Predator there. I mean, this thing is just completely loaded. I mean, just loaded. I mean, hours of content on here. I mean, it's probably the definitive version of the first Predator film that we got. I mean, first disc, you got audio commentary by director John McTiernan. His film historian text commentary, which those are dumb anyways. I don't know why you'd even waste the disc space for that, just to have font going across the screen saying, hey, we shot here, we shot there. A sneak peek at Alien vs. Predator. Yeah, this came out when Alien vs. Predator was about to be released in theaters. We'll get to that one later. Now, Disc 2 has all the bonus content on here. I mean, loads of stuff. It has all new documentary, If It Bleeds, We Can Kill It. Inside the Predator, 7 behind-the-scenes featurettes, including Classified Action, a look at stunts and special effects, The Unseen Arnold interviews, Old Painless, a weapons study. Oh, yeah. The Life Inside, a tribute to Kevin Peter Hall, who was the actor that played the Predator in the movie, as well as the second film. Camouflage, makeup. Welcome to the Jungle, location shooting. Character design, defining roles, which is basically about Stan Winston of how he basically got the idea from James Cameron, because he said he wanted to see a character with mandibles and dreadlocks. Okay. I mean, you can't really say no to that. I mean, hell, they both worked on Terminator at that point, so he's like, okay. Never before seen outtakes, rare deleted scene, Predator red suit, special effects clips, Predator camouflage tests, Predator profile, and still photo gallery. Yeah, I mean, that thing is loaded, completely loaded with extras. And the red suit, I mean, you can actually see kind of what it looks like. And they actually had some issues with the original actor, because, of course, the original actor was none other than Jean-Claude Van Damme himself, and they had a completely different alien-looking suit. Looks nowhere near to what we got in that movie, but it looks weird, hokey, it looks crappy. Thank God they redesigned the suit by Stan Winston. Thank God he redesigned it. Otherwise, we would not have what we have today. Up next, we have the special edition version of Predator 2. Yeah, now, granted, we got the slipcase here, but, you know, it's a different cover art, different artwork on the front than it is on the disc case. Yeah, however, the back is literally basically the same thing. But I tell you what, though, I mean, this movie was a pretty extreme movie when it came out, because they had no idea what they were going to do as far as making the sequel goes. They had, you know, it was kind of an original movie for what it was, and they had a hard time trying to figure out, well, how do we top it? I mean, you know, granted, the original writers came back and they kind of decided, well, let's kind of make it, you know, with each movie that we end up doing, each Predator will have like a different, you know, like sense, or as in more like a, you know, hunting ground that each one kind of specializes in. Like, for example, the first one, it's more of a jungle. Whereas this one, they're in the city. Oh, yeah. Completely different Predator design, although it's played by the same actor. But this movie, I mean, it's bloody, it's gory, and it's insanely nuts. Oh, yeah. I mean, you get 2 discs full of content. You got the booklet in there. There's the first disc. And there's the second disc with the with the boomerang weapon of choice that he likes to use for the bonus feature disc. That's actually pretty cool. Now, for this one does not star Schwarzenegger. Nope, it does not. You have Danny Glover starring in this movie, which is kind of interesting because it goes from being a macho guy to a guy that's just more of like a really down-to-earth and kind of like just a gritty type of cop. But not only that, though, it also co-stars Gary Busey and also an actor by the name of Bill Paxton. Oh, yeah. He's nuts in this movie like he usually is with most of his characters, but, you know, I mean, come on, it's Bill Paxton for you. But I tell you what, though, but this special edition is loaded with extras. I mean, just like the first movie, they went all out for this set. For the first disc, you got audio commentary by Stephen Hopkins, the director, as well as the another audio commentary by the writers Jim and John Thomas. For the second disc, the all-new documentary, The Hunters and the Hunted. Yeah, that documentary is pretty cool to watch. I mean, it kind of explains literally how they were able to make the film, you know, under such, you know, crazy, nutty heat wave conditions during that movie. 3 behind-the-scenes featurettes: The Predator Goes to Town, International Featurette, and Creating the Ultimate Hunter. Predator 2 Evolutions, which would be the special effects development clips. Predator 2 Weapons of Choice, the weapon analysis clips. Predator 2 Promotional Gallery, trailers and TV spots. And then now, this one is really cool because throughout the film you'll see these news reports pop up by a show entitled Hardcore. And what's really cool is that they have literally all of the hardcore, full-length mock news reports that are in the movie. I mean, it's pretty cool seeing that specific feature alone, just because, you know, you don't really see that a whole lot where they have, you know, like TV shows or movies within a movie being bonus content on here. Usually it's trying to figure out, you know, well, where's that at? Then we also have a behind-the-scenes still photo gallery. And that pretty much sums up all the bonus features for this. But, you know, however, though, once again, the composer, Alan Silvestri, who at the time, he was still fairly, you know, decent composer. Not really decent, but, you know, he was pretty well known at the time because, you know, this was 1990. Because, you know, about 5 years prior to that, he made a little score entitled Back to the Future, and that kind of really put him in the spotlight. And now, mind you, Predator was his first, kind of, simple action score, but he had also composed the score for the film The Delta Force, which starred Chuck Norris. But the opening theme is that you can listen to that, and if you listen to certain races way back from the early 80s and 90s, a lot of them would use that particular theme as like their opening intro music. But so 1990 rolls around, and of course, there's a little scene in here where they have a sneak peek into possible Versus movie that could be coming in the future. We would have to wait almost another 14 years for those movies to come out. Yeah, we'll get to those later. So, after Predator 2, we would not have another Predator movie for almost 20 years. Yeah. That's too long of a time, guys. Nice going, Fox. Anyways, thanks to director Robert Rodriguez and for him to basically keep a hold of his script for so many years, he finally decided, you know what, I'm going to produce this movie because I have my own studio now and I can do it for under what they are wanting to actually make a Predator movie for. And it definitely shows. Oh yeah, as in, not a good thing, or I'm sorry, not as a bad thing, but as a good thing. Oh yeah. We have Predators. Oh yeah. And of course, Walmart has to stick, their crappy stickers all over the dust, all over the cover. Just take that off. That's better. Anyway, so now you have the Super Predator there. So these Predators, they hunt those Predators. Oh yeah, which that's actually kind of a different take on it. And what's kind of cool is that they actually pay homage to the original Predator makeup because the actor that's in it is none other than Derek Mears, who would play Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th reboot, which he does a really good job in that movie. But he also does a good job in this one here, too, as the original Predator. But this movie stars Adrian Brody as Royce, which is awesome. I mean, he buffed out for this role, but he's like a skinny-eyed version of Schwarzenegger mixed with a little bit of Danny Glover, a little bit. We have Topher Grace, who everybody knows from either That 70s Show or who ended up playing Venom in Spider-Man 3, which was god-awful, but we won't get into that. Then we also have Walton Goggins, who most of you will know him from FX's The Shield, and he was also in Justified, and he's been in a lot of really good movies and TV shows as of late. And also co-stars none other than Morpheus himself, Lawrence Fishburne. Oh yeah, even though it's a small role, but it's awesome. So what he does. However, the composer that they got for this, they used Alan Silvestri's, they use his themes, but they use the composer John Debney steps in this time to do the score. But luckily, he uses pretty much Silvestri's theme throughout the entire movie. And it's actually pretty cool because he actually has a really cool guitar riff version of the theme score, which is pretty cool. But, which is really cool about this movie, it's fast-paced, and you have, when it opens, you have no idea where you're at, because you're like, is this the middle of the movie, or is it the beginning? And they basically made it that way on purpose, because you had no idea where you were coming in at. Because especially when Royce starts falling down from the sky, and he has no idea where he's at or what he's doing, and all of a sudden, he hits the ground so hard, and then here comes the title right there. And you're like, oh, that is the beginning of the movie. I thought that was like halfway through it. Nope. Pretty intense ending for the opening sequence. But, I mean, this movie, it is, it's really fast-paced. I mean, it's just over 100 minutes. It's really, really quick. Goes by real fast. but it's so action-packed and it's so well done that, you know, it's just a really, really good popcorn movie. As far as bonus features go, this thing is loaded with extras. Oh, yeah. Includes over 60 minutes of all-new bonus material. Robert Rodriguez presents motion comics, which are exclusive to this set. It has basically all of the characters that you meet in the movie, all of their backstories told in a comic book form. You also have Evolution of the Species, Predators Reborn, which that's probably about a good 35, 40-minute documentary, which is really awesome. The Chosen featurette. Fox Movie Channel presents Making a Scene, which is where they kind of show how they make the woods sequence, which is literally right outside of Rodriguez's parking lot there at his studio. They just made it right there in the back lot. And we also have deleted and extended scenes. So, you know, nice chunky amount of bonus features there. And, you know, we got, we have the digital copy, which, you know, doesn't really work anyways. Promo for Mirrors 2. Man. But at least we have some disc art at least. Here we have a up-close personal of the Super Predator. Then we have, unfortunately, nothing. Just the title for the DVD and a lousy use of a disc for the digital copy. Yeah, those are stupid, because once you put the code in, you know, the disc should be able to read it, even if, you know, you don't use the code or it doesn't work anymore. But I'm like, whatever. Digital copies are what they are, but I much prefer to have, you know, everything on, you know, physical media anyway, because what if the internet goes out and you don't have anything to watch? I don't have that problem. So there you go. Problem solved. Let's see. So with Predators came out, then we would have to wait. When we're like, well, where would they go with the next one? Because everyone was expecting maybe at least a sequel to show up. Unfortunately, it did, but not the way anybody thought it was going to be. However, we did have one individual from the original Predator that came back to the franchise. Yeah. None other than Shane Black himself. Yeah. The director of Iron Man 3. Also became the director of The Predator. Yeah. Now, granted, we were like, cool, Shane Black is coming back to do a Predator movie? Awesome. Oops. Yeah. Why don't you just call it Predator, a Christmas movie? Yeah. As pretty much as we all know, pretty much almost every Shane Black movie that's out there, it's basically a Christmas movie. Die Hard, what have you, you know. Any Shane Black movie is going to be a Christmas movie, so just call it a Christmas movie. So yeah, with this movie, he tried to do something a little bit different with it. He took a few little pieces here and there, you could tell, of the Super Predators. But, however, though, he kind of made the Predator get scared of another Predator, which is actually 10 feet tall. And you're like, oh, how's that going to work out? A little bit different, but, you know, it was alright. But overall, this movie is okay for what they tried to do with it, but, you know, overall, the story's pretty weak, and it's overall just not that good of a movie. They kind of did what they did with Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Instead of setting it out in space, let's set it inside a town. Yeah. Whoops. Anyways, as far as this Blu-ray goes, picture quality isn't bad. You know, it's fairly decent for what they were able to do, but, you know, they try to make things cool looking and whatnot, but it just doesn't fit very well. As far as bonus features go, we have deleted scenes, A Touch of Black, Predator Evolution, The Takedown Team, Predator Catch-Up and Gallery. Yeah, so you got a few behind-the-scenes bonus features there, as well as deleted scenes, and a still gallery, basically is what you got. But, overall, there is one scene, though, that kind of stood out to me in the entire film, is when basically you see the Predator that's chasing everybody, which is this one, on the front cover here. You just see this Predator just go flying out of a I think it's a school, I think, of what it is. And then you just happen to see that big, ugly thing standing over him. And the little Predator freaks out. It's like, oh, shit. He has that oh, shit look on his face. And kind of say, that's just kind of a comedic moment right there for me. That's just comedy gold right there. But, in my opinion, that's probably the best scene in the whole movie. It's just that look on the other Predator's face. But overall, this movie is, it tries to do too much. It tries to connect, with Predator 2 a little bit, but not done very well. Not done very well at all. I mean, it's just, they tried, but it just, I don't know. So, yeah, that pretty much wraps up the physical media collection that I have of the Predator franchise. However, there is one more. Yeah. It's on Hulu. Oh, yeah. It's entitled Prey. So, from what I gather, is that there was actually a fan film that was made several years ago. And Hollywood, of course, they caught wind of it. And they're like, hey, that sounds like an interesting premise. Let's do something similar to that. Basically, Predator in a Native American scenario. I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. That's definitely different. But what's interesting is that the film takes place roughly around about 200 or so years before the first Predator movies. So you kind of get like the origin Predator of how they become, the hunters of Earth and what have you. But I tell you what, though, the story I thought was going to be terrible. And wow, that was different. And so basically they had just one Predator, which was awesome. We didn't have to worry about no double characters or anything like that. But his mask was a lot different than the helmets that you normally see them wear over their face. It was more of like a bone mask, which I thought was actually kind of cool, whereas the newer ones, they have, the 3 lasers that are all guided, and that's how they use their plasma cannons. But this one, it's more of just like a straight shot and what have you. But it's just kind of interesting that they went this route with it, and I hope that there is a sequel to this movie. I mean, come on, I thought it was great. I mean, I really, really wish that that Hulu would just release it on Blu-ray or 4K at some point. I mean, if there's enough popularity there, they might do that eventually. But I mean, come on, for completion's sake, that would be awesome because I would love to watch like a documentary on how it was made and what have you. I mean, especially the fact that I'm not sure if it's on Hulu or not, but from what I understand was that they shot it in English, and they also I don't know if it's just a voice dub or whatnot, but they also apparently did it in the Comanche Indian language, which I thought was kind of interesting. That would have been interesting to watch the whole movie that way, rather than having it, spoken in English. Let's just have it, in the original Indian dialect, which that would have been a lot different. But a lot of people are like, oh, well, we don't want to read the movie, but we'll watch the movie. And, I get it. Nobody wants to watch subtitles all the time, but, what are you going to do? So, with that being said, yeah, that's pretty much it for the Predator franchise. I will be doing the Alien franchise at some point, and we'll also take a look at those awful AVP movies. Unfortunately, just for completion's sake, basically. So, you know. So with that, you know, please like, you know, and subscribe. You know, just let everybody out there know that, you know, this person's here or whatever, you know, just like I said, there will be links down in the subscription for if you would like to purchase these on physical media. If I haven't mentioned that in other videos, just look down in the descriptions below, because sometimes I tend to forget. It happens. So, you know, so with that, I'll see you in the next video.